Hello and welcome back to my road to 1900. I am a certified chess coach here to help you with your road to whatever rating. We are currently in a Scandinavian defense. This is a weird line, but there was a line where this happens, he takes. I do this, trying to let him take, and then I think I have to put my queen here. I think that's the right order. So he takes, I will develop my bishop to c4, which just develops a piece. Usually they take, and then taking back is the normal move, but that's doubling your pawns. But you also have queen to f3, threatening checkmate, occupying this square too, by the way, so the knight can't return, blocking your bishop. Then they have to cover the checkmate threat, and then you can take the knight with the queen. Here he attacks my bishop. I'll just return because I think now the knight is pretty dominated. A bishop and a knight in this correlation is usually very good for the bishop. So now the knight has a difficult time coming back into the game. If he wants to activate the knight, he has to like control these squares, but with bishop here I could take. So now I can do this, so maybe develop my knight first. I'm not scared of bishop here. I can just win a tempo and then maybe just put it one further instead of two. I'm just trying to support d4, seizing some control in the center with a pawn, and obviously just preparing to castle. So here it's a bit difficult choice because I did prepare this, but with d4, I will probably get the problem that this pawn isn't defended by a pawn, and I have to move the knight in order to support it with a pawn. So that will be a bit annoying, but if I can do this, and let's say he threatens this pawn somehow, I could maybe rotate my knight here, put my pawn here, to make a nice chain and get my knight back in the game with this type of reroute. So now like normal moves are just developing a bishop, but I will gain a tempo on it. Although, if he puts his bishop on g4 and I attack it with h3, after takes and takes, I have no business going for d4 anymore. So that's also just a simple and good move, stopping me from d4 like that. I could castle, maybe try to pin the pawn. That looks very nice. Rook here pins the pawn and just put some pressure on the king maybe in the future. And I'm just attacking a pawn, so defending it will waste the tempo, and maybe he will have to commit a piece to a place where he doesn't want that piece. But e5 is a very nice move. It controls d4 now. Maybe he can jump a knight in. He could try to prepare pushing it, but that shouldn't work. So yeah, obviously he's trying to pin this and then hoping he could attack it. Obviously my knight controls it and I could pin it. So let's just win a tempo on his bishop. Maybe he actually exchanges, which I wouldn't hate. My queen is a little bit more active, but I just traded a bishop for a knight, which is always very nice. And my queen is controlling the center pretty well from there. Yeah, so he puts his bishop back. Now I could attack his pawn. What's a normal move? Maybe he tries something tricky like this, because I can't actually take. Maybe I should just put my pawn here just to defend any tactics and open up my bishop. I mean, it's a nice and easy move. I have a tendency to wait way too long on moves that aren't too important. I didn't think about this though. Maybe I should have. Well, there is this incredibly risky move. If I take, you take a queen, I get a check. You have to go, and I have a lot of activity there. But I did waste a queen, so it's very risky. I will assume it doesn't work. I should have thought about this a bit longer. So I can attack his bishop. That will open up my king a little bit, but I think it's better than taking like this. If I have to like develop a piece so that after it takes I have to take with a pawn, then my queen is completely blocked in by pawns, my pawn structure is horrible, and my king is open. At least here I blunt his bishop. That attacks my rook, so I can take here. So let's take to the center, which is always nice, and it opens up my rook. So now he will have to save his bishop. Trying to trap it is a bit too tunnel vision. That will probably not work. By the way, taking my bishop is a huge win for him though. Now he could seize control over the d5 square to reactivate his knight. So instantly I'm thinking about moves like rook here. I could also take this free, but maybe quite risky pawn. I mean, his bishop is pretty trapped. I could exchange it, but after rook takes, I don't know if I like my pawn here and his survival chances. But it is a free pawn, though. It's a free pawn, so... So now I'm up a pawn, but in a very annoying position. My king is pretty weak. His too, to be honest, but with a move like this, I could take, you recapture. Now this is hanging. I have to defend instantly. Or I could give a check first to then maybe rook lift to defend it like this. I don't know, maybe check and queen here to defend it and put more pressure. I'm not sure. That's very aggressive. Now you can't even recapture. And also after takes and takes, if you would take, I can take with my queen. Another trap could be this, but then if his bishop moves, I have a discovered check, which would win the queen because my knight attacks both squares. So maybe rook here. And this just blunders a queen. How do you save your queen? Is it a very viable question? With no easy answer, I think. Rook here, how do you save your queen? You have to block the discover check, after which I can take and take. Then I could attack your bishop, and you can't block me because you just recaptured like this. I'm up on time, so let's use it. So I'm thinking about setting these traps, after which you probably have to block. Then I'm able to take. You probably have to recapture, otherwise I'm up a piece. And then I could attack your pinned piece. Probably your knight will have to come back to defend your bishop. And after that, I could apply more pressure with my queen, maybe. Or capture this pawn. I don't know, but this looks very nice. There are no checks, which I should have checked before playing the move, but will be fine. I like my position a lot. I think my opponent will have a very long thought about this. So usually if I had like an hour or something, I considered this move because he has to defend something and then I could take, and then this move became powerful. But if you have a lot of time, try to just change up every move you thought of. So what if I take first? Well, if you take first, probably takes, and what's next? What if I give the check then? He probably has to block, but he gets two other options. That's what I thought he will play. So he will get two other options, which is probably bad. So I do have to think, like, this is, again, what I said. I can take this. He will probably recapture, and this move will be very strong. But what if I change it up? What if I do this first? The problem being probably this move. That's probably a big problem, so I will just stick to my plan. But it's always very nice to just think about, I thought about these three moves in that way, let's change it up first. Especially if you play like classical or something. You have so much time, you could as well think. So now I think, by the way, this is my threat. It looks like my threat is to take like this, with an attack on the queen, but after he moves, I have discovery attacks, but what's a useful discovery attack in this situation, you know? So I think this is way stronger with a check, and the king only has one move, and then I can sacrifice my rook, and after takes, I could take the queen. After takes, he does have a lot of activity, but I just want a pawn and then a rook for a queen. So again, like, obviously takes, 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 and takes is the same thing if I do takes with the rook first, but we'll see what happens. I think he's about to castle, by the way, and then I can take this with a fork. His queen has to move. Oh, yes, I calculated this, I forgot. So if I do this, you have... Imagine I had two moves in a row, right? So queen here, takes, 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 just blunders, cool. So I probably need a bit more firepower. So I'm thinking about rook here. And my threat would be to go here, actually. But let's say rook here, he castles. Rook here doesn't really trap the queen because he has... well, this is a pin, so he can't actually move his bishop. So knight here. And then I will have bishop takes again. So I think I like this move a lot. So like I have all of this pressure. What am I thinking? Can I exchange this pressure for a material advantage? The answer is no, so I don't have enough pressure. So how do I put more pressure? Well, with a rook here, that would be fantastic. Problem being queen takes, but where can the queen not take here? So I think rook here, he has a free move. Probably he will castle, then I could attack His queen is not trapped. It could go here, I forgot. And then I didn't add an attacker. Maybe then queen here to add an attacker and pin his bishop to his queen again. So that if he takes, I could take his queen. But what if I do queen here instantly? The pin remains, but I don't really have a thread is the problem, I think. Because after takes and takes, I'm just not allowing him to castle. So if I do here, he's allowed to castle. Because takes, he could do knight takes. Then I have an in-between move of attacking his queen. If he blocks with the knight, I win his bishop, so his queen has to go here. And then I could attack his bishop again, pinning his bishop to his queen. And how do you defend the bishop? So rook here. And then I have rook here. So probably both moves work, I think, but I think letting him castle is very nice actually, because after queen here, he's not allowed to castle, but I don't really have a threat. So now my threat is to trap his queen, which would force... Wow. I didn't see that at all. So after rook here, his queen has to go here. Then I can pin his bishop again. And then all the same problems remain. Can I distract his knight? I, by the way, have check. Check bishop here. Did I gain anything? No. So I think I need this in order to pin his queen again, but I don't have knight here then, which is very annoying. I have 8 minutes, which is very helpful to keep in mind. So here he can block and everything is gone. So I think I have to attack his queen again. I'm not scared of like this, by the way. Like that's completely fine for me. I always prefer to exchange a rook and a bishop for a queen. Like theoretically you're down 1 point, but a queen is so much stronger in an endgame than two pieces. Two rooks against a queen is very tricky, but theoretically it's better for the rooks. So what I didn't calculate would be knight here, but then I have this fork, so nothing there. So the only thing I could think about is just move his queen here, which would open up this pin. And then, by the way, I could give a check after. Is that strong? You have to go here. Is that strong? How did I get this to be this complicated? Check, you could move. Takes, knight takes. I could pin you with two pieces, and how do you defend your piece? Can I do that instantly? Queen here, just rook here, and like, what do you do? I mean, it's still defended, but it's like pinned as hell. And after takes and takes, the same question remains. So, does the order matter? So if I do check, you could block away your queen, and probably that's annoying. After takes, knight takes, I don't get this check because of his rook that opens up. So I think I just have to or pin you like this. You cannot take because of the pin. How do you unpin? By moving your queen. But that's too late because I take with a check, and after takes I already win your piece. So I mean, I think that's just a free piece. And like takes, I take this with a check and I don't have to calculate anything else. If I can take a queen with a check, I stop calculating. I do not care. Yeah, so of course, I could have, by the way, takes and he had to take and then do this, but I want the option of messing up. It's the same thing for me, so might as well leave the option to mess up. My knight isn't very useful, to be honest, but now that my rook is here, my knight can jump in the game, so if activity is a problem in this game, my knight can at least assist. By the way, if I need more pressure or potential fork, my knight can save the game. My king is quite safe, honestly. Like, it looks open, but there are no infiltration squares, so... Okay, like that, fair enough. And can I make this work somehow? I don't think so. So now I take with a check. I assume you have to take, then I could take with an attack on your queen. Queen has to move. And you have to be very careful for a lot of things. So I think that's just fine. This is not a threat. You can't even try to infiltrate. So now I'm attacking here. His queen probably has to go here, I would think. I'm thinking of like a way that would probably be beneficial for me. I'm thinking of a way where I can get this check to just infiltrate with my queen. If he like moves his queen somewhere stupid, this will instantly be game over. So probably here. Can I sacrifice a pawn? Imagine you take, oh, with a check, never mind. Maybe it's good, but I don't want the complications. So like here or here are normal moves. There is no infiltration, which is perfect. I could attack the queen, after which it will have to go. I want control over this square, right? So I have to bully the queen in a way where it can't control that square. So I think rook here. I don't allow any infiltration anywhere. So rook here, probably forced to go here because otherwise my queen can check and that will be game over. After which my knight can infiltrate. Can you stop me? I don't think so. Then you will have to like leave and I will have a check and that looks deadly. What if I change the order? So first knight here, which allows nothing. Is that more clinical? Is that more clinical? Like you can go nowhere, and I control this square, so even if you go here, like check is game over. You have to control this pawn because then I will have check and check after. So probably knight here, queen has to go here. I can check. You have to go here. Check. Only move. Checkmate. Oh, that looks even more clinical. So, like, I don't know if he will see the whole sequence with, like, you can't control this square. So I will get this check forcefully, after which your king will have to go here. I will get this check, so if your queen can control that square, that's good, but it can't. So after that, you will have to go here, and I will get this checkmate, so your queen has to control this square. I mean, I guess this is a try, after which I get check. You have to go here, check, here, check again, here, and that's mate. Oh no, because you can take. So wait, queen here, check. Oh, that loses. So I just get check, I think. Yeah, that loses. I calculated that. He will have to go here to stop it, and now he could sacrifice his queen, but like after takes, queen takes, one move, and I have this checkmate, and if he put his queen here instead, the sequence would check, forced to go here, check, forced to go here, and then is knight check. But the king is completely trapped and the pawn is pinned with my queen. So now I have check, only move, and I mean that's made in one. There's nothing fancier there, sadly enough. I mean maybe like knight check. You kind of have to take. I could take. You can't take back. But I mean, it's made in one. So let's analyze the game. That was a pretty game. I played very, very well that game. I think. Wow. Computer says 95% accuracy. I think the rest is wearing off. So that was actually the best move. I have no clue why you would choose this setup. Like, I have two pieces developed. You have one. Of course, it's like your move. So let's say, okay, that's a book move. So two pieces for two pieces. Fair enough. Nothing in the center, which is pretty weird. I don't know. It's fine, but I have no clue why you would choose this setup. Like, this knight looks a bit passive. And the only square it controls in the center is not really useful. Like, it's just stopping my advancement, but that wasn't my plan anyway, so I don't like this setup. Just develop. I mean, the opening is pretty straightforward. Just take the center, develop a piece, develop a piece. Don't exchange a knight for a bishop if it's not needed. Then just develop a piece. Usually knights before bishop. I did exchange the bishop, but the line that I mentioned was takes and then bishop here. And if he takes, the easy move to do is this. But this is a beautiful move. You target checkmate. He will have to defend. Usually they play this, by the way, which blocks the bishop. So I like this setup a lot for white. And then you take knight. And you have just... I mean, your bishop is pretty passive as well, to be honest, but their bishop is actually blocked. So with like pawn here, knight here, bishop out somewhere, and it's a very nice and easy game. I like this setup a lot for white. So I just developed pieces. This looks like the normal move, knights before bishop, and it's fine too. Just because I know that line and that setup, I prefer to develop my bishop first. So he takes the center, fair enough. I just castle, best move. It's pretty easy. Like, this doesn't really have a threat. Probably a normal move would be this too. But I mean, castling, it's safe, it activates the rook. Best move, just gaining a tempo. That's an inaccuracy. I had to instantly chase it away. And that's a blunder. It worked? No way. And if you take maiden 5. I mentioned this, but I didn't know the mate. Bishop here. Oh, and I win the queen back instantly. Wow, that's beautiful. I really want to learn this setup. You sacrifice the knight. Disgusting. Check with the pawn. Only move. Can you mate with the pawn? That's just more beautiful. Oh, I mean, sad. Sad, sad, sad. So now, damn, that's beautiful. I saw it, but like calculating this through is insane. But I mean, fair enough. I played a fine move. And then takes, always take towards the center, except in endgames. Endgames, it's sometimes better to take towards the outskirts because it's more difficult for a king to reach. But I mean, it's basically the opening still. He isn't castled, pieces aren't developed that good. So it opens up a rook and it's just better for my structure. He saves his bishop and I instantly win a knight. So this is instantly a very rough mistake. Avoiding this mistake, I would say just develop a piece. Like, I expected this, or this, or this, or this. All of those 4 moves are probably good. By the way, covering up your king is a bit better, because your king is just very weak. But he instantly lands this punch, and that's the best move. That's disgusting. And so I said, like, try to change it up. If I take this, that's a bit worse because of takes, and I give a check, and now he has options. That's exactly what I told you. That's crazy. So I don't want to give these options. That's why I rook here. And the problem with this first is obviously that it just blunders a bishop. Yes, okay. Yes, obviously. So disgusting. He finds the best move. Uh, oh, playing this first is better. And this is not bad because of this. Oh, beautiful. And if you take, I obviously... Is that a checkmate? I mean, it's practically checkmate. You have to sacrifice your queen. Damn, that's disgusting. Okay. So, like, takes, and here, and this is checkmate, except you can offer your queen and you're dead. So first bishop here is better. That's honestly beautiful. But I thought that this made sense to lead his pawn to the outskirts so he couldn't block. Then this is the best move. That's his only move. And queen here is better with the idea of taking back. Why so slow and passive? So probably this is the problem because I'm threatening his rook. Only way to save the rook is to move the knight, which would blunder the bishop. So, okay, that's beautiful. I didn't see that at all. So he has to block this, after which I have the same ID. But why he... Oh, because now he controls this. Okay. So what if you just waste the move? What's my threat? Okay, maybe not that because I can just attack it, but what if you like do this? Queen here. What about rook here? Take this. Have to move. Oh, and I could just go for this checkmate ID. Brilliant move, sacrificing this. Yeah, but like takes is just checkmate, so that's pretty easy. Rook has to go here, and now I don't win it. And then just the same ID. Okay, that's cool. Another brilliant move. Okay, fine. Okay, that's disgusting, but I didn't see that whole way. That's crazy. So I did like my ID. Can I like somehow see if that's the second best move? Oh, it's this button, right? So the best move is to take, he says, then queen here, or so the best move according to this evaluation is to sacrifice my rook. Otherwise, queen here or here. So this doesn't even come up, which is annoying. Now what's with this? It's probably a move here and then queen here, or queen to e2, yes, okay. And now if you castle, I have a free piece with a fork. So you can't castle, probably you have to try to defend like this. Rook to e1, rook here, I would assume. And now knight here. G takes on a5. Why would this matter? I'm so confused. What if you take back? Like knight here is a threat, no? I mean, queen takes, so you can't even take back because of checkmate, and no, not scared. Queen takes on h5. Okay, pinning this and this thread, I think. c6, which is random. Just trying to do this, I think. Bishop takes. Rook can't take back. Okay, so the queen has to offer herself. Okay, I didn't see that sequence, but it's beautiful, but going back to the evaluation. So I did like my ID, that was the best move. He found the best move, and then I did the best move again. And then that's a good try. I think with the rook would be better because of knight takes, rook takes again, and then the queen has to sacrifice herself. Is the queen trapped? Oh, it's not trapped, but if it goes here, I have check and then mate. If it goes... Oh, that's her only move. Leads to a checkmate in 2. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, didn't see that. So it has to sacrifice herself, after which I activate my queen, probably. I go here. Anyway, I attack this. I have this strat. I'm up 3 points of material, so that's a beautiful sequence. Okay. So I just stuck with bishop, took a free piece. That's the best move. Clinical. So what I was saying, right? So my threat is queen here. The king is forced to go here. I would get this queen check. You would have to hide. And then I have this checkmate. So in that whole sequence, I use this, and this square. So the queen has to try to protect at least one of it. But it can't. I control everything that could lead to defending that, except for this, which leads to check, and then here, rook here. That's beautiful. I wouldn't find that. What if check? Is this bad? Oh, it's the same. Okay. So honestly, I was thinking about just check, and then do I not have an actual threat? That's crazy. So I have to just block this scope. Now you don't have anything else to like try. So you have to sack the queen, and then I have a checkmate in some moves, but it doesn't matter. So like this is a good move. I thought about this move, which leads to a very beautiful combination. Check. You have to go here. Check. You have to go here, and then knight checkmate, controlling every square. The pawn is pinned, so it can't take, and the queen actually blocks the king. That's a very beautiful checkmate. But he goes out with this, and I just have a check. He has to move. Sacrificing the queen would be better, but I mean, if sacrificing the queen is the best move and you don't get it back anyway soon, you're probably dead, and then I have an easy checkmate in 1. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned how to navigate the middle game and potentially the opening. I didn't know too much theory behind after he moved his knight back. Everything was pretty well thought out. I hope that's worth a subscription and a like, and I hope I see you in the next one.